Oh, it's definitely weird. Yeah, I'm on limiter now. Fucking hell. Didn't use any motor coming down there because it was on the limiter all the way. But it planted as fuck with it, honestly. I'm trying to catch you up, but I can't. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck me. Nice. Nice. Hey? Fucking is, isn't it? I reckon you're as fast as me, mate. Oh, hell. I don't think the suspension's a mile away at the moment. First impressions. So far so good. It's a very different beast than a normal bike, and it's just taking a bit of getting used to having that extra weight, how you manoeuvre it and sling it around. But it's handling everything the way I was hoping it would. That's good. He says, nearly crashing. Can't talk and concentrate, that's the thing. Slippy slidey?
No.
Yeah, straight off. Hi. Vivian! Adrian! That leash stings. That felt pretty good. Loads of fucking grip out tyres, mate. Especially in that sort of stuff. You do feel a bit sketchy on the gravelly though. Dick. That does alright at jumping off stuff like that, you know. You just give it a little crank before you go in, just to generate a bit of speed, and boom, it's gone. Here we go. Wow, it's a bit different. Oh yeah, you definitely need to be a bit wary of the turns and stuff. Not quite as nimble as a normal bike, which you wouldn't expect, but it definitely takes a bit of getting used to and anticipating that. Yeah, again, you've got that coming down them stones at the top. You've just got that instant, your front end goes boom, 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 straight down, you know. Yeah, so you've got no, I think if anything, you just feel the impact a bit more. Felt a bit more juddery, you know, which I think I could probably just tweak the suspension and sort that, but... Yeah. Oh, fuck me. Get the gear right, lad. Oh, here we go. Blitz. Oh, you what? That's the magic of e-bike. I'm going up there, mate. Let's give it a go. Fucking hell. I see what you mean. You got to get right over the front end or it's coming up. And then it don't stop. Fucking hell! Woo! Fucking hell! Fucking hell! Oh, rooty tooty! Hey? Adderstone, innit? I think. Is it the Adderstone? Don't know if you can get on it, like, but. Oh, well, you could probably climb it. Yeah. Just done 13.8 miles around Dalby on the red route, which took us an hour and a half. And you could tell by the battery there, pretty much ran it in EMTB mode all the way. And I even turned my mate up a couple of the fire road climbs. He held onto the back of me and I pulled him up, and we've used 32% battery. So I think that's a pretty good result, really. I need to charge. Just leave it as it is and ride it again. So I just wanted to do a quick recap on today's ride. We did 12.5 miles roughly, I think it was 13 miles around Dalby on bits of the red route. Really familiar with that sort of territory. So it was a good comparison to do on the new bike compared to, you know, the analog bike where we've been riding these trails for years. What's my initial thoughts? Well, it's an e-bike, so yeah, mint, absolutely mint. But there are some negatives to get used to. Number one is it's clearly not as nimble as an analog bike, but you would expect that, you know. Didn't buy an e-bike thinking it was going to be able to be chucked around as easy as a normal bike would be. So yeah, so there was a couple of moments where I was sort of, you know, speeding into sort of tight bends and stuff, and I started to overshoot the bend, let's say, because I just wasn't ready for the weight of carrying that around the bend. So I think that'll come with time, where I just need to anticipate the corners a bit better and get my line a bit better. The other thing is obviously when you come across things like little steps, sort of drop downs, where you would normally just lift the front end up slightly or push the front end out as you go towards that step, just so you land flat afterwards. You can't do that with an e-bike. Your front end just plummets as soon as you go over that step. So you have to compensate by using speed, really. The faster you go over that step, the more the momentum, spit it out, the momentum of the bike is going to enable it to land flat. So, But that's quite easy to do with an electric bike, because literally all you have to do is put in a couple of cranks or a crank before you go over that step down, and you know, boom, you get the instant push forward and bit of speed, and you drop down. Great. The 2.6 tyres I've got on it worked really well. I think if anything I could do with letting a little bit of air out of them and just running them a little bit softer. The 27.5 wheels, again, no issues with, you know, I've heard previous rumours about them being a bit twitchy, and they're a bit, you might have to fight them a little bit more over technical stuff like rock gardens and routes and stuff, but to be fair, I didn't notice much difference really. They still felt like they were going to smash through everything. It didn't feel, you know, any worse in any way. If anything, it did feel a little bit better with them being 2.6 tyres. Suspension took a bit of tweaking. Had to adjust the slow compression on the front forks a little bit, increase the compression slightly just to make that a little bit better. I mean, I suppose that's something I'm just gonna have to tweak as we go along and keep tweaking it. Yeah, and I mean, going down some of the downhill stuff, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Dalby, you'll know about the Oblivion drop section and Vera Lynn's and things like that. It did feel a little bit plus and minuses, you know, because I remember going down Oblivion thinking, great, this is absolutely smashing this, not a problem whatsoever. But as soon as I hit Vera Lynn's, and the top section is quite, you know, there's quite a few steep drops again from, you know, stones, step downs, and that's when I noticed again this bit where your bike, with your bike being heavy, it just drops fairly quickly. And I think probably some suspension changes, tweaks will adapt that. But I mean, you know, in general, I'm really happy because it was great, and we you know, I did some stuff that I would never have done on an analog bike, like some techie climby bits. All the fire roads were just, you know, blink and they're gone. They were great. None of that monotonous climbing that you have where you just can't wait to get rid of it all. But yeah, in general, I think I'm super impressed. I think at the moment I'd give it a score of about 7, 8 out of 10 maybe, with a look to improving that with a bit of tweaking on the suspension especially, and a bit of tweaking on my own experience of how to handle an e-bike. You know, it's going to take time. One positive we did do actually was we went into the Dixon's Hollow area where there's a couple of large tabletop jumps. There's 3 back to back, and I went down that not expecting anything, but you know, it's a big bike, it's not going to jump. But actually took the first jump and the second jump very smoothly. It was almost like carry plenty of speed, and because you're not going to get a lot of height with it being a heavy bike, it almost transitioned the top of the jump smoother. It went up and landed on the other side without gaining too much height, but it had plenty of momentum to get you over the hump at the top. So that was quite a surprise, that it actually jumped very well, and you didn't have to do a lot with it. You just, you know, you hung on and just let the bike flow through the jumps. So that was a real positive, real bonus. Certainly be testing that one out a bit more in the future. But yeah, I think next ride, going to get it onto something a little bit more off-piste, let's say, not quite trail centre type rides. Going to probably get into the do a bit of cross-country, sort of forestry, off-piste, you know, man-made sort of, you know, trails in the back of the woods and stuff, and just see how it handles a real bit of, you know, techie sort of ground that's has not been purpose built and not been health and safety checked for, you know, has it got the right amount of obstacles, exact, you know, blah 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 blah. So yeah, probably give that a go next, and let you know how that goes on. Okay, like and subscribe, and you'll see more videos of the Cube Stereo Hybrid 160 HPC. Blah, 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 blah. What a mouthful.